Welcome to the YouTube channel. So today we are going to learn how to convert an ebook into a personal chatbot. Why? Why not read the ebooks directly? Because ebook has 200 to 300 pages. We do not have time to read every single page. So today we are going to turn an ebook into a personal AI chatbot using this n8n workflow. So to get your template, link is in the description. Go to my GitHub page. Here you can copy it. Make sure to start the repository. Here you can copy the code and then come to n8n dashboard and click on Ctrl V. So this workflow will be in your computer, and then configure the Google Drive node and then Gemini API key. You can get the Gemini API key from Google Cloud. It is free. You will get $300 free credits. So first you have to convert the ebook PDF into a text file or any other file and upload it to the Google Drive. I'm not going to show you how to configure Google credentials. Many videos on YouTube are there about that. So in this video we will focus on the workflow. So click on download option and then choose the file. Choose the Atomic Habits text. Choose the file of that ebook, whatever the ebook you are going to convert, and then add a Pinecone vector store node. What is a vector store? Vector store is like database for AI. We are going to use a rack system now. If you look into our workflow, we are using vector store in the chat node. When we chat, ask questions, we are going to use the vector store. Why? Because by default AI has very limited trained data. We are going to use vector store is like a knowledge base. Sorry, we are going to use vector store. Vector store is like a knowledge base. We do not store direct database like text or numbers. We are going to store like vector embeddings. That is why we are going to use a Pinecone vector store. So we are going to convert text documents using AI embedding model, and then we'll convert it into a vector data store. And we are going to use Pinecone for that. Pinecone is a service. It has a generous free tier. Sign up for the free account, and then here come to the dashboard. Okay, now let's come back to the index dashboard. Click on create index. Here type atomic habits because that's what the ebook I am using. And here choose this one carefully. I'm using Gemini model, so I'm going to use llama text. If you are using any OpenAI model, choose text embedding 3 small or text embedding 3 large, whatever suits for you. And I'm going to use 768 dimensions because Gemini embedding uses 768. Don't change any other settings. I'm going to create an index. So the index has been created successfully. There are no records yet. We are going to add a record using n8n. So as you can see, the atomic habits text file is there. We are going to put that into a vector store. Remember what a vector store is. It is a knowledge base for AI. If a user prompts, it will search the knowledge base, search relevant information, answer it from there. So open the Pinecone vector store. I just clicked atomic habits. We are going to name the namespace as data place. And the embedding model I'm using is embedding 001. It got 768 dimensions. The dimensions of this model should match with the vector store name index model. Sorry, vector store index. So I'm going to click on execute workflow. It is downloading the file. Now it is pushing all the atomic habits data into the vector store, into our index. It will take some time, probably a minute maximum. So yeah, the vector store has got the data of ebook. Now let's go to a Pinecone dashboard. As you can see, the new namespace has been created, data place. Here you can search manually and explore the Pinecone dashboard. And now let's come to the n8n dashboard. Here, this is the part we are going to use for the chatbot. We are going to use a chat trigger node. Here, make sure to toggle this to make chat publicly available. We are going to use a hosted chat, and we are going to turn off the authentication for now. This is the initial message memory. This one is used to load the previous conversation messages. Here you can choose how many messages of previous conversations to load, and then attach the Pinecone vector store node, because obviously that's where we get the atomic habits data from. Make sure to include the metadata. You can re-rank results using cohere, that's a different thing. And there is an AI agent node. This will use the context from the vector store, and it has a Windows buffer node, subnode, to maintain the context of the chat. You can increase the context window length by 20 or 30 depending on your use case. I would recommend to use Gemini 2.5 preview because that has got very large context window. Here these are some settings you can configure if you don't want the Gemini to be restricted to certain censored content. So that's it. Open the chat node, copy this URL, and then open a new tab, paste it over here. Here type hi. It is searching the vector store. Hi doesn't need any knowledge from atomic habits, so it's a generic reply. Now let's say I will ask you to write a blog on habits. Look, look the cue, routine, reward. This is the knowledge from Atomic Habits book. Achieving goals, start small, be specific, make it obvious, make it attractive. All these points are from Atomic Habits ebook. If you go to the execution section, back to n8n dashboard, come to execution section. You can see the message has been sent, and then here Pinecone vector store will be used to get the data, to get the relevant data from the ebook. And then that information will be sent to the AI agent node, and then it will output the reply. Now we can use the same for our specific problems. Like I'm going to ask, I want to develop a habit of mm, learning an item, let's say. So this is the reply it gave us. Look, it again told us to use a tiny start. That's what is recommended in Atomic Habits ebook. It is applying the principles of the ebook on our questions. So that's how you can convert any ebook into a personal AI chatbot. Imagine the power of this. You can clone any ebook. There are so many very good ebooks out there. You can make it your personal assistant, and maybe you can even combine many ebooks into one vector store. That would be even more powerful. Hope you enjoy. You can get the template from my GitHub page, and make sure to start the repository and like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.